Hi everyone, and today in this video I'm gonna be teaching you folks. Teaching means I'm gonna be letting you folks a few of the tips. If you have a laptop, right now I'm using a laptop that that I don't know what the screen size is, but it's a very general that I see everywhere. It's not that super big screen size laptop. And if you're a guy or a motion designer, whoever you are, a designer, and using this After Effects and Premiere Pro software, and you're using these softwares in a very a small screen, small laptop or something like that. So for this After Effects and Premiere Pro, I'm going to be showing you a few of the tips that how you can handle a big projects in a smaller screen sizes, how you can effectively use in them. That's what I'm going to be showing you. So this is a project that I opened up, and I see a lot of real estates in this After Effects. So I'm using very less screen size laptop. The what I'm using is, let me show you. Let me unplug this charging wire. So this is what I am using. This is a HP laptop. It's a 16 gig, but the screen size is not that big. I hope most people gonna use this kind of laptop everywhere. Anyway, so I opened up this After Effects, and I see a lot of real estates, and I want how am I gonna use it if I don't have external monitor, and I have to use this After Effects very effectively. The first tip I'll be showing you to create a workspace. So right now what we have in here, the timeline is in here, and the preview monitor is in here, because the timeline is very stretched out. But in After Effects, what happens is, it's not a Premiere Pro. In Premiere Pro, what happens when you pile up clips, when you add more, it's gonna stretch horizontally in a Premiere Pro. But in After Effects, it's gonna compile, you're gonna stacking the layers, right? You're adding more assets. So what happens, it's gonna stack in a vertical way. So as you can see, I need a rather it's actually it's the timeline, it's very good in horizontal but not in vertical. So having this timeline in bottom is not a good thing. So what we can do, so we can take this timeline, so you have to hold like that, to take it, and you can dock it in the left side. So now I can see the layers all in a vertical form, which just makes me easy to see all the layers. And let me close out this close panel. You have to click on the hamburger, and you have to close out these unnecessary panels if that opens to you. If there open any panels like that, you can if you were zoomed in very high or very zoomed out, you can use a hotkey, control, and I don't know what are you gonna call this astra key or whatever. I'm gonna while editing video, I'm gonna put this hotkeys. So if you click on that, control, you can use either control and that key, or shift and this that key. It will it will fit the preview monitor in preview window. If you were zoomed out very little like that, or very high, if I use that add key, we're gonna fit that preview monitor. So so I've got these unnecessary panels opened up in the right side, so I'm gonna close up them. So again, you have to click on the hamburger, close panel. Right now I closed the unnecessary panels, and I got the timeline in the right side. I can see all the layers, and the right side I can see the preview monitor. In the bottom you see these options, right? These things toggles the blend modes, parenting in these options. If you can also uncheck them. See, I get rid of some of those, and still I can see the parenting thing. If you need it, you can have that, but if you don't need that parenting link thing, you can right click on in here, you can go to columns, you can uncheck, and that will gone. Also, I just want to mention another thing. There are also other options, right? You can either you can check or uncheck with this columns options. I get rid of that parent thing. I can you can see the scroll thing in here. I can drag it to all the way to left as much as I can. All right, we cleared some of the real estates, the options and all that things. We can clear some of them. You see this closing, this After Effect closing, minimizing. You can hide them by using this hotkey. So now we cleared a few of the things anyway. Now we have a layers on the left and the preview monitor on the right side. So now we have to save this as a workspace. The way we can do that is go to Window, Workspace. You have to use this option, Save as a new workspace. And I'm gonna call this into left. Why not? Left. By the way, this stacking this timeline on the left I learned by the Jake guy in YouTube. So I saved that workspace to access the, let's say if I'm in the default. So this is the default, and the timeline is in the bottom. I don't want that. I'm having a hard time on using After Effects with this way. I have to get the way we had before. So you can click on this one, this arrow on the top, and if you click on left, now you're back to the workspace that you saved. And still you can close out few of the things. So let me go to workspace again, edit workspace. This is the one we are creating now, left, right. I'm gonna pull this all the way to top, uh, below the default one, and I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna click on this bar, and I'm gonna drag it to all the way here. You can fully drag like that. I'm gonna drag it all the way to something like here, so I can hide the other stuffs, right, other workspace thing. So default is this, and the left that we created is in here. So by doing this way, you're gonna have layers on the left, right, so you can go around and use After Effects very easily. Again, you have to close down these ones. I don't know why you have to do this every day, every time, but anyway. So now I'm in a comp inside. If I want to go back the previous comp, meaning the main comp, I can use the shortcuts shift and escape. Okay, you have to use shift and escape. That will toggles the compositions up. You can also you can hide these top bar menus, top bar option. The way you have to do that is you have to use tilde key to make the timeline big. That will fits the entire screen, and you have to double click on this hotkey. So that will not only hides the Windows minimizing closing thing, it also hides the toolbar. Now if I use the tilde key, now guess what? I don't see the toolbar, and also I don't see the After Effects closing minimizing thing. So we cleared those panels. I don't know if this way of doing would gonna help out you. I normally would recommend only closing that minimizing thing. And in the newer 2025 After Effects, what happened, and also what comes after this year, it's if you click on any shape layer or maybe text layer, it will brings the property panels, this panel on the left, and it's a very bugging sometimes, this property panel like that. By clicking on the shape layer or text layer, you don't want to see this property panel coming on the right side. The way you can get rid of this property panel is in the top bar. I think you have to search for auto something, that options comes like auto open. When you uncheck that, this property panel not gonna open when you click on the text layer or shape layers. Let's bring on this both layer property. So let's say I'm putting some values or something like that, and I don't need to take my cursor to go to other property, other layer or sub position property or whatever it could be. I can use the tab key to jump around those values changing thing. If you have a million layers, let me tell you, this tab key and changing the values would gonna help out a lot. And another thing I want to say is use the shortcuts for opening panels. Right now, let's just say I want to add a some effects to it. And yeah, of course you can have to go back in default and whatever, you can look for that effect and preset panel. If you don't see them in here, you can bring that up in here in the Windows tab, right? I recommend to use the hotkeys for that to bring that effects panel. So that's for it's a control file. It's gonna bring out that tab in here. I can look for whatever the effects I need to add in here, and then I can pull that to my layer. So that's, and after using that effect, I can close out that panel. Now I'm back to my my workspace. And by the way, this workspace what I have, it's messed up. How you can reset that is, you need to go in here Windows and do whatever that resetting thing. You have to click on the hamburger in here and reset the save the workspace, and that will resets it. Actually, you can bring out a lot of the panels with your holding control and this number, as you can see, to bring up the other panels. Let me bring out something like I'm looking for a character panel, and the shortcut for that is control 6. Let me close out this one. So if I wanted to, I have this text in here. I don't know. Yeah, this text, it's opened up again. It's opened up in here. We have to, again. I didn't thought of this in this 2023 24 version After Effects. Also, it's coming. This is the option that I told you before. Yeah, if you uncheck this property panel is not gonna open up. So by I'm gonna click on this text now. Text, see, it didn't open up. So now if I want to open up the character panel, to use that to bring up that, control and 6, and it will bring up the character panel. As I said, it's usually holding control and 1 2 3 or all these number keys to bring up the different panels in After Effects. In Illustrator, it's holding control and using function keys. On the top bar, you'll see F1, F2. That those are art keys you have to use to bring panels in there in Illustrator. But in here After Effects, you have to hold on control and number keys. That's how we're gonna bring the panels, and I recommend you to memorize these panels, whatever the panels you want to use. Memorize these shortcuts. It's usually holding control and using numbers. If you want to add any effect or anything like that, you don't need to again what I've shown, control 5 to bring up the effect control panel, and then searching the effect and dragging that to layer. You don't need to do that. By installing that video copilot search bar plugin, you can search that in the internet, you can install it. So for the to bring up that search panel, video copilot search panel, to in here is I have to hold on control and space bar, and that will bring this video copilot thing, right? I can look for effects like maybe a transform, let's just say transform, and I click at that, and it added that transform effects to that pre-comp layer. Was that easy? All right, so before I'm going to Premiere Pro and probably telling the tips, the way you can use the Premiere Pro in a smaller screen, I forgot to say the in After Effects is try to use less layers if you can. And in this is a main frame, so this is a main composition, not a frame. So in this main composition, I've got all these pre-comps. So these pre-comps represent actually each frames, kind of like that. So try to use less layers if you can. That would be a huge thing. And pre-comp, and also on the pre-comp side of things, so this is a frame, right? If I go inside of any frame, you wouldn't see any pre-comps inside of pre-comps. Although I go two level of pre-comps, but I don't go too much crazy with the pre-compsing and that kind of things, because with the heavier projects, you're easily gonna get lost. So use less layers, and don't go use pre-comps. I seen people in the main comps, they don't pre-comps or anything like that. They're gonna use like a 50 100 layers, and they're gonna animate everything in that way. So don't do that. Pre-comp them like a frame wise or the whatever right for you, and don't go super pre-comping way. I seen people. If I want to search something, if I'm working someone else's file, that kind of things, I would go. I would have to go like a 10 pre-comps inside to get a one text layer or something layer. So don't do like that. So have at least a two pre-comps inside. So that would be a good thing. So less layers and pre-comps, and when comes to the icons, let's just say this kind of icons. Actually, I think I did not use this trick, but anyway, what I would suggest is for this kind of icons, usually people in you're gonna create this kind of icons in Adobe Illustrator, right? So in Illustrator, what happens if you brought, don't bring it as a probably like these icons don't have a pre-comps. Try to have a one layer, one shape layer, and inside of that one shape layer containing all these icon related things. So this if you I don't have any Illustrator files in here. So for the Illustrator file, what you can do is you can right click, and you can create as a shapes. So that will turn the Illustrator shapes into After Effects. So in Illustrator, if you organized all the shapes, for example, this icon only, I've organized everything in one layer, and I've separated them in a group wise. So for this, and what I would do, I would gonna select all these hand related strokes in Illustrator only. I'm gonna have first thing first. First of all, I'm gonna have all this only icon related all things in one layer. And what I would do then is this hand related, what all the stock is there, I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to click Control Z. So I'm going to group them. I'm going to put all these hand related strokes into one group, and these circles into another group, something like that. So I'm going to having in one layer in Illustrator only, and grouping them. And then I'm gonna in After Effects, what I would do, I'm gonna bring that as a footage, Illustrator footage. And then I'm gonna drag that to the timeline. I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna turn that into a shape. So once you turn that into a shape, what happens is, again, what you created groups in Illustrator with having in one layer, so those groups will reflect in here. Those are gonna turn into After Effect native shapes. But anyway, but those gonna stay in one group what you created in there. So I'm gonna end up what having all these icon related things in one layer, as a again inside of many groups, so I can animate all the things in that way. So that's what I would recommend, having shape layers for this kind of icons would gonna work out, and using that way.
Alright, so one thing I wanted to mention in this After Effects is, of course, if you have a smaller screen laptops or computer, it can be very daunting and frustrating to find a specific layer that you need it for. And I personally use three ways of finding layers that I needed. So that I'll be sharing right now. So let's just say if I wanted to select this icon layer. So one technique I use is clicking on the visible pixel on top of the layer, and clicking on X. So if I were to click on this is the icon, right? If I were to select this icon, I have to click on top of the visible pixel. If I wanted to select the this background, I have to click in here. So let's just go for background for now. So I'm gonna click on in here background. I'm gonna click X. So if you have a lot of layer and clicking on the visible pixel and layer and clicking on X, what after it's gonna do, it's gonna bring that layer on top, at the very top of your on your timeline. Currently, it's not bringing on top because it's not that so many layers in there. If I were to go another default workspace, default workspace. So let's say if I want to select this background layer, I'm going to click on the top of it. It could be anything, right? So if I want to select this text, I have to click on top of the what's being visible. And this is a visible pixel for this text, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on X. So it's going to bring the something layered on top. Of course, this text is not in this pre-comp, so I'm going to lock it. I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to click on again the X, and as you can see, this text stays in this pre-comp. So that's one way of so finding layer. Clicking on the visible layer and clicking on the X, it will bring on top, and turning it off and on, we can find the specific layer we needed. That's one way. Another way is, let's just say if I wanted to select this background image. So what I can do, I can probably select few of the layers that I visibility turn on, and I can move. So so in that way, I'll know that this background is actually comes in these 4 layers, and that goes for if I want to select other things. Let me go to other places, other place like, so if I wanted to select, wanted to select this image, what I can do, I'm gonna probably, so as you can see, probably I turned on a few, these are layers, so I'm going to select all of this, I'm going to move it once, so it's not selecting. I'm going to select all of this and then I'll move it, so it's not selecting, meaning that background is not in there. So let me select few of these layer and probably move to bring on the this whatever this bounding box thing. That's for you can either click on this icon or Control Shift X to bring this bounding box. And if I move again, that background is not moving. It can be located in this layer. So nope, it is not in there. Okay, it's not in there. Alright, so that background is actually somewhere in these two layers. So that's another way. Just select layers, whatever the thing you wanted, and move it. And then if you found out that let me close out this autosave thing, and then so select layer and move it. And once you found out it's not moving the object that you want to select, and Control Z, undo it and select another few layers and do the same thing, and then eventually you're gonna find the layer that you want to select. So that's another way. And another way that I found is it's probably good for finding something like icons or something. So let me go to other layers. So it's a perfect example that I can give. Add some background so we can see. So let's just say I wanted to select this this marking layer. I could as I said, I could click on the visible pixel, control clicking on X and bringing on top. I can also do that, and also I can select few layers and I can move. I can also do that, but as you can see, this icon is animating, right? It's animating. So what I can do, I can click on U. That's bring up all the keyframes that are in the timeline, and I can look for where it's animating in here, right? So there must be a keyframe. So this layer has that keyframe. This playhead is located in here, and the keyframes is here, right? So as you can see that I selected that layer by looking up the motion in the preview and keys. By clicking on U, it's going to bring all the keys and look for the keys. That's it. So if you found out the keys, and this is the layer. So that's another way. So to wrap up, the 3 ways of me personally finding layers. It's one way that I shown. It's fun clicking on U and finding the keys and figuring out which layer is that. And the another is manually probably selecting few of the layers and moving, right, moving and minimizing that selection and probably searching like that. And the another way is probably the good one is clicking on the visible pixel, clicking on X and this selected this layer. Let me lock that and click on another, and as you can see I selected that layer. So this clicking on visible pixel and clicking on X thing you might have to do a few times, and locking layer thing this way. So eventually you're gonna find that the layer that you want to select.
So Premiere Pro, actually I don't have much to say in here. So I've got this sequence opened up. So again, what I said in the After Effects, you can't drag this timeline panel to left. Because why that? Because in Premiere Pro you stack up clips in horizontally, right? You're gonna build the timeline that way, but in After Effects it's about vertical. It makes sense to have a timeline panel on the left in there After Effects, not in this Premiere Pro. So let me go back to the default one. What you can do is you can use tilt key to go inside of any panel. If I want to make it this preview panel bigger, I can use tilt key, and holding control and using tilt key, it's gonna fit that preview whatever this thing called into my entire screen. I can play and preview the file if I want to. And another thing is, if you zoomed in very zoomed in like that, so if you want to see entire the clips, meaning the entire sequence, you can use this hotkey. It will fit into all the timeline into your view. And if you use that same hotkey, it will wherever your cursor is located, it's gonna zoom out to there. If I want to make it big on this track, on this video track, I can barely see the track. So how can I make this video tracks big? It's a shift plus and minus key. It will make the tracks big or small. Let me go back to default one. And the alternatively, the way you can do that is holding on shift and scroll wheel. So hold on this shift and come over to this place and use the scroll wheel only to make a video track big. Or if you want to make that audio track, again you have to do that in here. This is the what separates the video and audio, right? So coming up, doing shift scroll wheel, it's gonna affect to audio. Doing here, it's gonna affect to video. All right, you messed up like that. How do you want to go back to the original state? Again, you can use the hotkey shift minus. It's gonna get it to the previous default one. Or else, if you don't remember these hotkeys, you see these bars right on the corners. You have to double click on them. By double clicking, it's gonna fit to the horizontal. By double clicking on that, it's gonna fit it to the vertical. Again, same I have to do to the audio clip. That's how you're gonna by double clicking on these bars, actually it's gonna fit those things. I've got so many clips in here, right? So I can use these arrow keys meaning up and down arrow keys to jump between the clips. By using a side and the left and right keys, it's gonna jump frame by frame, right? But if you use up and down arrow keys, it's gonna jump between the clips. So that's very useful shortcut to know. And if I use home and end key, home for bringing my player to the start of the sequence, end for bringing the player on the end of the sequence. And yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't have any much to say in here in the Premiere Pro side of things, unless if you have a wider ultra wide screen for this Premiere Pro. It's gonna pretty much you're good with this Premiere Pro. So That's all about the Premiere Pro and After Effects, how to use these programs if you have a smaller screen size. And hope you find valuable, hope you learned something. If you did, give it like and subscribe. In the upcoming videos I'll be posting, I've seen people, beginners, and I see interns, or mostly interns, they do a lot of mistakes, mistake in the sense file handling kind of thing. So in the upcoming videos, now what I now just shared is particularly about real estate things. If you have a smaller screen size, how you can use this Premiere Pro and After Effects thing. In the upcoming video, what I would do is how you can handle files if you're a beginner, things like that I will be gonna post in the upcoming days. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give like and share to your friends and colleagues, things like that, and I'll see you in the next video.